Welcome to tonight's edition of Anthony T's Horror and Wrestling Vlogcast. That's right, I added Horror and Wrestling to the title now since everything's been rebranded on the podcast. So, going forward, this will be known as Anthony T's Horror and Wrestling Vlogcast, which also will be able to let me show off some of my wrestling merchandise that I picked up as well. I've got a lot of merchandise to talk about. I've got stuff from Monster Mania that I picked up when they had their outdoor little mall of horrors in Oaks, Pennsylvania. I believe May 22nd. So, with that, I'm going to go quickly with some of the stuff that I picked up online and through various sites. First up is all the stuff I picked up at Amazon.com. First film is a film called Sorority House. Now, I picked this film up because personally, looks like it has an interesting cast. It's a local New England horror film, and I like to support local New England filmmakers. Plus, it looked interesting enough through the synopsis for me to at least check this film out. I also then picked up two films from James Belasmo, whom I had on my podcast on episode 60, as we talked about his latest film, It Wants Blood, along with actor-producer Bill Victor Arukian. Check that episode out. But I picked up two films. First of all, Catch of the Day 2. This is a film I have not seen yet, as I just recently got this in at time of filming. So I have not seen it, so I can't give you any thoughts on this film. And another film I picked up was I Spill Your Guts. This is, I think was one of James Balsamo's earlier films, as this is a very kind of dark film. Not like some of the stuff you're accustomed to seeing from James Balsamo, but I think this is one of his best films. And I picked it up again because, well, I lost the original copy I had of the film. So I decided, why not pick it up again? Because I really want to see this film again. Then another film that I picked up, this is another local indie filmmaker, actually from my home state of Rhode Island. A film called Before the Night is Over. This was a very good film. I saw this last year when I rented this film on Vimeo on demand. I don't think they're selling these DVDs, as I got this when I contributed to their GoFundMe campaign for the film. But definitely go check out Before the Night is Over on Vimeo on demand, as this is a very good Southern Gothic horror film shot in the New England area. And a couple more other ones. First, the only title I picked up at the recent MVD sale, I picked up a film called Torched. It's directed by Ryan Nicholson, who you may know from Gutterballs, Hanger, and Famine. I haven't seen this yet. Like I said, I just got this one in too recently before filming this video. So, can't wait to check it out. Even though it's only like a 44-minute film. But still, it was a good sale price at the MVD sale, so I picked this one up. Even though I was saving all my money for the Vinegar Syndrome sale, which I'll be doing a video of next time, as I have not gotten my product for Vinegar Syndrome yet. It's a little early anyway, because usually It takes like 2 or 3 weeks anyway after the sale ends to get everything from Vinegar Syndrome. But I did buy a lot at the Vinegar Syndrome sale. Spent maybe over $300, and mostly on new titles. So don't expect a lot of back catalog titles. I may have gotten 1 or 2 of them, but that's about it, because there's all new titles. Because some of it was the pre-order sale. One title was a science fiction film starring Pedro Pascal of The Mandalorian. So I definitely had to get that one because, well, it had a nice case to go along with it. And some of these Vinegar Syndrome / partner releases will have special cases to them. Like in the same way of the Forgotten Jale series. Hell Comes to Frogtown had a special case. The Beastmaster had a special case. So, I pretty much picked up about maybe 8-9 things in that sale. One's a box set, which I just picked up because, well, if it went on sale, it would have been only $10 less, and it might as well get it now before it goes in the next sale on Black Friday. So I will have the Vinegar Syndrome stuff next time I do another one of these videos. And finally, actually I have 2 more. Forgot about it. This is the last Blu-ray I picked up. There's a film called Brides of Satan. I picked this up on the Dockside Releasing website. It's a very good film. I had a great time with this film. Very good exploitation horror film. Performances were great. Director Joe Bizarro does a very good job with the way he directs this film. He keeps the action moving at a very good pace. It was such fun watching this film. And speaking of Joe Bizarro, he's the latest guest on the Anthony T's Horror and Wrestling Show podcast as we talk about this film, which is currently available on docdiscussions.com. I've seen it on Apple Podcasts as well. It'll be hitting the other platforms eventually. Don't worry, if it hasn't hit Stitcher, Google Play, or Spotify, it is coming. But your best bet right now, if you can't find it on those platforms, is to go to the Doc Discussions official website and Apple Podcasts, as is on the Anthony T's Horror and Wrestling Show feed. And finally, I picked up on the Fright Rags website the new Darcy the Mail Girl t-shirt from The Last Drive-In. I've been enjoying this season of The Last Drive-In so far, as they've done some really good episodes, including Spookies, which I'm surprised that got an episode. It also had a really good end to that episode. If you haven't seen the ending or the music video for the Spookies rap, you have to see it. It is hilarious. This is why I love The Last Drive-In. I believe that Spookies rap is on YouTube. You just have to search YouTube for it. But I believe that is a must-see. And with that, that's the end of the random pickups. Now we're going to move on to the Monster Mania stuff that I picked up at Monster Mania's outdoor Mall of Horror. And first stuff I picked up was a couple of action figures. I picked up a Tourist Trap action figure from Full Moon Toys. Or Full Moon Collectibles. I figure I'll continue to add those because mine as well, since I already have these two plus Blade. So I pretty much have 4 of the 5 figures. Now I just have to get the Laser Blast figure, which I didn't see. I might have missed it. If I found it, I would have picked it up definitely. But I decided to pick this up. $10, can't go wrong. And I also got another Creepshow Funko. This time the original Funko for Creepshow. If you haven't watched Season 2, it was a good season. Only problem was the first episode of the season should have been the last episode of the season. But without that complaint, it's still a good season. I enjoyed Creepshow. I can't wait for Season 3 next year. They'll probably do a Halloween special, but probably won't get Season 3 till next year. So it'll be interesting. It's a very good show. I love Creepshow. I love how the way the stories are filmed. I love how the way the effects are good. This is why I like horror. It's like a modern day Tales of the Dark Side. And of course, Creepshow is based on the original Creepshow film as well. So, right, next up, we're gonna get to some shirts. Actually, I got some film. 2 more films. How nice. First one I picked up, Alienator. I heard this one was out of print, so I saw it there. I had to grab it. It's directed by Fred Olen Ray, which I'm starting to like his works, as I've been seeing a couple of his films lately, and like what I see. So this is definitely worth picking up, because it's Fred Olen Ray directing. Film stars Jan Michael Vincent and John Philip Lohr. It also has Ross Hagen and PJ Souls in it too. Can't wait to check this one out, as I'm, like I said, a fan of Fred Olen Ray. And I also picked up Tales from the Crypt, Vault of Horror double feature. I picked this up because I recently saw a documentary on anthology films and kind of was interested in Tales from the Crypt, the original, so I picked this one up since I think that was going out of print. Plus, I also think Vault of Horror was also mentioned in that documentary, so it was good enough for me to pick both of these films up. Now, I think we're getting to the t-shirts. And I did not kill... Oh, one more Blu-ray. I forgot. Sorry. A film called Loon, the latest release from Scream Team Releasing. Of course, if it's Scream Team Releasing, I'm probably going to pick it up anyway, as I pretty much have all their releases. So, plus this looked interesting. It's one of those slow burn thrillers. May not be for everyone, but I like these types of slow burn films. I also picked up a couple of shirts at this convention. Now, here's the story with shirts and conventions with me. At conventions, I end up usually getting 3, 4, 5 shirts. I go crazy on shirts. Simply. I just do. Because, well, I like the design, I have to have it. I like the design, I have to have it. Excuse me. So, this one I just got 2. Because I was trying to keep my shirts to a minimum of 3. And I made it under to 2. It probably won't happen next convention I go to, but at least I cut the number of shirts down, per se, from the last couple conventions I've been to. The first shirt I picked up was a Bride of Reanimator poster shirt. Had to do it. Saw it, had to have it. I'm a big fan of Jeffrey Combs and Herbert West, so I had to have it. I almost picked up 2 shirts, but I didn't want to chance it. Because I don't want to go too crazy with shirts. Because, well, after a while, you don't have enough room for shirts. Obviously. The other shirt that I picked up was over at the Fuzz on the Lens Productions booth. And it is a Terrifier shirt. If you don't know me, I love Terrifier. It's just one of the best slasher films of the last 10 years. This is just a great design. They had actually 2 great designs I wanted. But thankfully, this one had my size, so I'm definitely getting that, obviously. But it's nice to see that we're going to get a Terrifier 2, hopefully, this year. Because I'm really excited for this film. As literally, I'm very interested to see how they're going to top Terrifier. Damien Leone and crew. Because that film was just one of the most insane slasher films I've seen in like the last 10-15 years. It's a great film. If you have not seen that film and you're a fan of slasher horror films, see this film. It is very good. It is one of those films that makes me proud that I'm a huge fan of independent horror. Because you will not see films like Terrifier from a major studio. You just won't. And also I picked up another bag. Monster Mania bag. Because, well, I was running out of room in my bag, so to get another bag just to be on the safe side. Always end up having 10 million tote bags, but whatever. It's just me, you know that. Also got to meet up with my friends at Deadly Grounds Coffee, as it's been a while since I picked up some coffee. As I picked up a couple of pumpkin spice to hold me over to hopefully September. Which it will probably happen. The way I drink hot coffee, I can probably go a year with these 2. But I wanted to pick it up because, well, I'm running out of Deadly Grounds coffee, period. And I love pumpkin spice. It's a very good flavor. Definitely check out Deadly Grounds coffee. It's just good coffee. And I'm not a hot coffee drinker, but I like the pumpkin spice a lot. And finally, I also picked up a couple of autographs. And I have a couple of pictures, which I posted on Anthony T's Horror and Wrestling Show's social media pages. The first one I got was Janine Taylor from the original Friday the 13th. I love Friday the 13th a lot. Plus, this does look like a lobby card, so I might, well, get it. I love lobby cards, reprints, and this looks like a lobby card reprint. And I wonder if that's the same lobby card print I have when I got Adrian King's autograph. I have to take a look. I will update you next episode of the podcast on that. But to me, it looks like the same one, but it may not be. You never know. And the other autograph I got was from Stacey Nelkin from Halloween 3 Season of the Witch. As I got this nice photograph with her with Tom Atkins. Tom Atkins' line at Monster Mania's Outdoor Little Mall of Horror was insane. I'll go more into that story on the podcast. But it was something that made my jaw literally drop. Because, yeah, I was literally expecting, it'll be good, decent line for all these people. But Tom Atkins was just crazy. It's amazing. I went to ScareCon New England the first year, and there's maybe 2 or 3 people in his line. I go to this convention, there's 20, 30, 40 people in his line. But I'll go more into that rant on the podcast, because I don't want to give the whole Monster Mania experience away here on the video, because I do have plans on talking about that convention next episode, which whenever the podcast issues are straightened out, you probably might want to wait a week so everybody can listen to episode 61. But episode 62, I will talk about it. I will talk about that. I will have no guests. Let me backtrack. There'll be no guests in episode 62 because, well, all that time is being taken by All Elite Wrestling. Yes, that's right. All Elite Wrestling. As I'll talk about the positives and the negatives of Double or Nothing 2021. A show that they ran last weekend. I'm not giving any thoughts away. You have to listen to the podcast. Because if I give it away here, you won't listen. All kidding aside, it looks like it's probably going to be at least 27, 28 minute review of the thing, which I'll go into the negatives and positives of the event. I'll give you the full rundown on what happened at the event, and I'll give final thoughts on the event. But that's probably going to be more like the main thing on the next episode of Anthony T's Horror and Wrestling Show, since it's a major pay-per-view. And also, next episode, I got a major gripe with WWE. Because I have no idea what the hell they are doing. Seriously. I have to talk about this because I have a theory what they might be doing. Because they recently released Braun Strowman, Aleister Black, both of them who were recently on television. It's ridiculous. If you're not going to put these people on television, get rid of them. Don't get rid of people when you start an angle, then 2 weeks later just scrap it Even though the angle happened on the main event of a WWE SmackDown. I don't get this company, but I'll save it for the podcast because I got a major gripe about this. It's not going to be good. I'm going to tell you that right now. I am not happy with what's going on in WWE. In fact, I have not been happy with what's going on in WWE for the last year plus. But I'm going to save it for the podcast. That'll be on episode 62. I do apologize for the appearance, as I just noticed my bed is like cluttered with stuff, literally. But I do apologize. Next time I'll make it a lot neater for the Vinegar Syndrome video. With that, I want to thank you for watching this video. Have a good day. Support indie horror and support indie wrestling.